Hello, guys, and welcome to Unfiltered Football after a very, very long time. And together with us, we've got a new guest, Brother Maroof, and Brother Hassan Malik, who also has his own channel on YouTube as well. So, welcome again to brothers. And today's episode, we'll be talking different subject. The first subject we're going to be talking about the racism in football. If is racism, or should we call it racism? We've had several times where footballers who gave out different flags or gave different messages, and especially like, for example, Arsenal Football Club, how they treated Mesut Ozil when he spoke about the Chinese Muslim. And Arsenal definitely said that we don't mix, we don't want to be involved with politics. And most of the time we hear the words, let's not mix football with politics. And now suddenly with the war in Russia and Ukraine, we have everywhere from the FA, the FIFA, UEFA, every single football body, including all the sports. What changed? So first, let's hear from Maroof. What have you got to say about that? What's your opinion?
Well, looks like they're two-faced, the FIFA and FA, because when Mesut Ozil spoke about the Uyghur Muslims' treatment from China, Arsenal they did back him up, but now Ukraine, whatever is happening in Ukraine, all of a sudden all of the football is involved. I just don't like it. They're just hypocrites. They don't like Muslims. 100%, they don't like Muslims. Maybe if it happened in a black country, then they would probably support them. But because it's happening in a white country, yeah, we will support Ukraine. But if it's a Muslim country happening, there's no support.
Do you think is the fact that it's a Muslim country or non-Muslim country? For me, I just think it is because it's a European country. Nothing about, I don't think it's about black and non-black, but the fact that it's a European country, that we've heard it from most of a lot of people. These are blue eyes, blonde people, just like your regular neighbors when they were talking to their people.
Well, this is the thing I kind of get annoyed with, is because the amount of coverage is getting like no like disrespect, and I don't mean anything bad to the people of Ukraine. I hope them peace. Do you know what I mean? I hope no one goes through that. But when at the current moment, it's still happening in places like Palestine. I mean, there was a photo shared recently on Instagram or somewhere today. If you saw the bombing there, it's much worse than what's happening in Ukraine. I mean, we shouldn't compare. It's all bad. But if you look at the coverage, why is there so much more when it's in Ukraine and not in some Middle East country? Why is it that when it's in Ukraine, it's an atrocity? But if you look at if it's in somewhere in the Middle East, oh, it's okay. Why is it deemed okay? That's the issue.
I don't know if you guys seen it. I think it was in the Good Morning on ITV or BBC One. I can't remember. These two presenters about these two gardeners from Scotland. They got into their van or vehicle, whatever. They drove all the way to Ukraine, and they were asked by the news people there, like UK. So how's things? He goes, well, like everything is going normal. People are going to going out for a walk. So we don't see any war here. It's like everything is normal. But the way they portraying it out there is like we're hearing thousands of people are dying. Where are the images of these people?
Have we actually got confirmed number of how many people have died?
Not just that. Oh, by the way, we just want to welcome Ahsan as well. Another guest who just came in. Alaykum salam, brother. And yeah, we're talking about race. Say that again?
Yeah. Wait, so what? Well, just going back on what Hassan just said about the numbers, I think I was reading this evening. I think it was about 500 civilians or something. But I think everyone knows, without wanting to say it blatantly, there's a reason why the white man is getting shown more than the brothers in Palestine. All comes down to the access to oil, money. But all these politicians have got their shares in these companies, man. That's what it's all about. Everyone knows this.
Yeah.
But no big person.
In time of football, let's keep it in the football.
That's fine.
The thing,
racism.
Why suddenly is everybody the captain armbands they change into Ukraine.
Do you remember how much of a big deal they made when Amad Diallo and Paul Pogba was having the flag of Palestine? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember when Celtic done it? Celtic fans, I rate them for it.
Literally, don't forget, it was on the news just a few days, maybe last week, where they got fined.
They got fined for it, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Celtic
why is it all
and
of a
St.
sudden
Johnstone, I think.
the whole footballing world has gone into meltdown because something's happened in Ukraine. Why? The main reason why. It's because I don't want to say it, but you know why.
Of course, it's racism, pure racism.
That's the common.
But I mean, what do you think should happen now? What do you guys think should happen?
If you're gonna make that as the way you're going to go forward, it needs to happen with everyone. That's my only.
I don't know.
This is it now. This is the precedent's been set.
Yeah, if you're gonna do something, it needs to go throughout the world, not just pick and choose who you want to do it with. So if that means now Israel is what they're doing, that should be banned too. People shouldn't be playing them too, right?
Definitely.
But it's not going to happen.
Here's what I think now. Here's what I think. My opinion is, we've seen everybody speaking out, managers. Certain managers are refusing to speaking about. We've had what's his name, the Chelsea manager. He literally told the journalists, "Don't ask me anything. Don't ask me anything about politics. I don't want to know. I'm not there. I don't know anything." He played it smart. It was really good of him. But I think now all these big sports players, whether it's football or any other sports, they should come out, especially I would say Muslims players, those with big followers, who have big followers in social media. They should speak about this. Literally, they should speak about this.
Can I say one thing? There was a war in Armenia and Azerbaijan. Remember when there was the final? Arsenal went to go play final.
Yeah.
Mkhitaryan was harshly treated there. They could have not done the tournament there. As the same they're doing this season, where they says, we're not gonna have no Champions League final in Russia. They should have done the same then as well.
I think it's in Russia, not Ukraine, isn't it? It was meant to be Russia.
Moscow. Now they shifted it to Paris.
Yeah.
They didn't make a big deal about Armenia and Azerbaijan then as well. And who else did they make a big deal about?
A lot of players have been. This is what surprises me. It's like right now, no players, especially Muslim players, literally took a stand and said something about it.
But do you think their clubs would allow them to?
Why not?
Look how they were treated before for speaking up. So why would they risk?
Remember, El Nene did say something.
I think this is it.
El Nene did say something, and Arsenal say, we don't get involved with the. They kind of backed him indirectly. If you remember, they kind of backed him indirectly.
Lavazza Coffee.
Yeah, against Lavazza Coffee and everything. They kind of backed him indirectly. And they said it's up to them. With the, I think with Mesut Ozil's situation, it is more of a commercial side. It's not about politics. I don't think it had anything to do with politics for Arsenal. Because if you look at the West,
but do you think it's
gone?
No, I was just gonna say, just comparing the two players, the amount of followers and how big Mesut is compared to
influence,
I think Hassan froze a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
But I think
what I was saying, sorry, Hassan, to cut you off. What I was saying,
I think why go on, no, sorry.
yeah, sorry, I apologize. With Mesut Ozil, it wasn't anything to do with politics and racism. With Arsenal,
No.
that stands purely because of money. Because the West is against Russia. If you remember in the United Nations, everybody was voting against China on the United. Most of the people who voted supporting China, it was other like Middle Eastern countries and all that, and African. Those who were against China was America and the West. Remember that. So with Arsenal, they would have supported, but what China did, it was all about money. The first thing they've done, they removed that game which was supposed to be played on that day in Chinese TV. They took it off, right? And straight away the FIFA games in China, they took off Mesut Ozil. And in one of the games, I think Mesut Ozil was playing, they were not mentioning his name. So this was purely because of the commercial reason, nothing to do with racism with Mesut Ozil.
But that's what I mean. That's what I mean. If Arsenal was seen to be supporting Mesut Ozil with the amount of followers he has compared to how many followers Mohamed Elneny's got, I think it's then seen Arsenal are making a bigger stance.
Oh, yeah.
They're taking a bigger stance. That's the point I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think it does kind of depend on how big the player is.
Yeah, definitely. Hassan, you was about to say something.
No, I'll just say, echoing what Brother Hassan was saying, literally about the level of influence, because someone like Mesut Ozil has a greater influence than Elneny. Let's be honest.
But you guys understand what I'm trying to say, though, what I said. With Arsenal, they could have used words differently.
But for me, it's straight up simple. If you're gonna take yourself away from politics, etc., then you should do it for everywhere, not just when you pick and choose. It's as black and white as that. If you're not gonna get involved, you say you're not gonna get involved, don't get involved. Then 2 months later, 3 months later, or 6 months later, you can't change that stance.
But do you think now everybody just blaming Arsenal? For me, I don't think it's anything to do with Arsenal right now, because as I said, Arsenal was about the commercial point. Now my point is the whole FA, FIFA, UEFA, everybody. Why?
But let me ask you a question. Say you're a Russian footballer, right, or a Russian tennis player, right? Obviously, your country's gone into war with Ukraine.
Yeah.
Now, is it unfair on you that obviously, you live in that country, so on and so forth, to be banned, not to play, or don't get a chance to play?
It is unfair, and I think I was reading an article. I think it was yesterday, the day before yesterday. I think it was in Olympics in China. They were giving option to Russian sports people to represent themselves as neutral, as individual, not represent.
And they were willing to do that.
I think some of them.
Yeah,
they're never going back to Russia if they did.
Say that again.
Mm.
I said they're never going back to Russia if they did say agree to it.
They were some of them were already doing that. But my point is that there's still people that made a big deal out of it because they were saying, "Oh, they're Russian. We're not going to compete against them." So if you look at it, I think it was the Paralympics. They actually taken all the Russian athletes out.
You know that you just mentioned the point where people are saying they are Russian and we're not going to compete against them. They're labeled as heroes. Just was it last year when I think was it an Egyptian or Algerian or Moroccan martial artist refused to compete against an Israeli, and they were suspended and got fined. So that just tells you who controls everything. It's the same thing. He says, I'm not going to compete against this person. And other people say they should have competed and beat the crap out of them. It's different. But anyway, as we can see, my opinion, I'm going to ask you guys again before we close it off. How do you think we can move forward? Who should take over and show the world, okay, this is what's going to happen? Why are you guys saying, fight back or talk back against these bodies, whether the FA, the FIFA, and UEFA? Who should be doing it? Because I think it's the players. Because the teams, they have to, we know who controls the teams. But I think the players should be doing that. What do you guys think?
I think it should be the politicians that should be doing it. The political leaders of the world.
Well, of course, they're not going to do it.
Charge. Let's be honest. They should be the one that are sorting this mess out.
No, they're not going to do it. Remember,
players. I mean, football players are big because of how much they get paid and how much people they've been, paid to be watched. That's it. It should be the big people up there. They should be sorting this out.
They're not going to
even get involved. I mean, you shouldn't even get involved. Yes, you can condemn it.
I'm saying you have to accept they are not going to do it. So shouldn't the players speak up now? We have some ex-players.
I mean, they have speaking up in terms of the supporting against what Russia's doing.
Not big players. I'm not talking about Russian players. Should say, okay, you guys said no politics in football, so why suddenly? We had a player in Turkey who refused to wear the no war T-shirt because he said it should be for everybody. Why not just say, shouldn't players like big players now, like big players with big influence, shouldn't they be doing that?
It's all about image at the end of the day. They're gonna think it's gonna ruin their image. So what do? You weigh up the situation, right?
Yeah, I agree on that one now. It is.
100%.
What do you think, Maruf? You haven't said anything.
It's a hard one. John Terry, he spotted Roman Abramovich recently, and he got criticized for that. He posted a picture, thanks for the service at Chelsea. Yeah. So like one English player spotting Roman Abramovich.
He answered him back though. He answered the politician who criticized him straight away. He gave it back to him on his tweet. I don't know what he said, but he goes, "Oh, this is the same MP who did this and that," and then he said the same person who supported the war in Iraq. And he told me about that's exactly what he said.
But it's the truth, right? It's the truth.
Course.
Look at the Everton
players like that, John Terry. Big players speaking up.
Yeah,
Right? We feel sorry what's happening, but it should be for everybody, or no politics.
But he's only speaking up because he's getting criticized for it. That's the only reason. He would never.
No, with him, he's defending himself. Yeah, you're right.
No way would he come out and say that, oh, this what's going on in Ukraine is
people not going to put
no player's going to
put them out there. No one's going to put them out there. Only reason is defending his backside.
So we agree.
This is 100.
Let's not take any credit away from him. Yeah, fair do, kudos to him. But
basically, we agree now. It's just like the powers that be is what they want. They want everybody to sleep. Everyone's going to sleep.
Plus, he's not attached to anyone, right? He's a free man. He's not attached to any club. There's
I think he works for Aston Villa, doesn't he?
Nope, he's left.
He's left there, didn't he? I thought he left there.
He's left. So there's no link to anything. So he's kind of free to say whatever he wants. Whereas the player is contractually,
I never needed. Anyway, we close it off here, and thank you so much. And as we can see, there's nothing. No footballers, and as Brother Hassan said, the politicians themselves, they should be talking about. To me, I think still, if footballers or sports people, they have any dignity left within them, they should speak up. Either no politics in football or any sports, or let us be fair on everybody. And thank you so much. And from me, Mazi, Brother Maruf, Hassan, and Ahsan. And until then, we see you soon. Thank you.